Live from Flannel Beaver Studios, Quarantine Edition, it's the Roman Podcast. I'm your host, Roman LeBeau.
And I'm Rob Cast. And today we have a very special guest, all the way from our neighbors to the south in the United States. J-Man, say hi to everybody, Jay.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is J-Man from J360 Productions.
Excellent. So here we are, quarantine. We Roman and I were discussing last week. We've had one of our close personal friends on a few weeks ago, and we were talking. Hey, everybody's sitting at home anyway, so let's reach out. Let's expand this. Let's get some friends on this show. So, Jay, you are a heavy presence on social media.
Yeah, I wonder how that happened. But anyway,
but you're all the
Don't let him make any fat jokes. You just cut him off.
Yes. So yeah, you have a big presence. Oh no. You have a loud voice on social media. Here we go.
Oh, force of nature, yeah, that works.
Yes. So before we get started, and before we get into these, our regular ramblings on for the week, so let's tell your Canadian friends all about the J-Man and J360 and your productions. And
Jeez, where to start? Well, my legend began, and I'm just kidding. Actually, the thing about it is that I started the J-Man show because I want to be an independent producer, filmmaker, writer, and everything. Like, I want to entertain and inform people. So I created that show as a way of me getting it out there and my adventures and the daily things I go through, along with some of the weird stuff at work and some of the other stuff here, like in real life and whatever. And I also try to provide a positive message to keep people active and keep them going. And then in addition to that, I also have the mini bites because, like, face it, Wednesday's in the middle of the week, so I got to get you guys all warmed up and pumped up and ready. Right. So I always talk about the real things that go on around in my neighborhood, too, and the state of the industry.
Oh, cool. There you go. So yes, again, we're on Instagram especially. I find there's a few shows that we kind of glom on to each other, where it's like we like each other's content. Like there's something about it that hits the eye, hits the ear, right? So it's like, and it's like a big podcasting family.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but it's great to have you on. We're here. Also too, today as we're recording is May the 4th. Yep. So happy Star Wars Day, everybody. I'm not going to ramble on about it because obviously if you look over my left shoulder, I brought R2 is on the show on the live stream today. He is, can you say them R2 there? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, so he's with us today. He's just hanging out. I am. Our regular listeners know I'm an astromech. I'm an astromech builder. A huge Star Wars fan. I go to all the Star Wars celebrations. I was at the premiere for the last Star Wars movie in Toronto. But if you want your Star Wars fill, go to talkstarwars.co.uk or just look Talk Star Wars on any podcast catcher. I have a show called the TSW, the Talk Star Wars Roundtable, and we have a special that went out today on Monday. So by the time, if you're listening to this on Wednesday or later in the week, it'll be there. So any Star Wars stuff, go to Talk Star Wars. Google them. You'll find I do stuff with some guys in the UK, so I do a monthly show over there. That's where you can get your Star Wars fill, because I think our first year, 4 years ago, Roman, remember when we did a May the 4th show?
Oh, yes. And how popular was that?
It tanked. It is literally still the worst show we've ever put out. It's like
Really?
And the thing is about downloads, the downloads were so bad that it was just, it's like, it looked like, oh, look it, they tried to do a Star Wars thing. No, I'm not even downloading that. I'm like, so I don't,
and I mean, for the rest of the audience that are not into Star Wars,
yeah.
My response to all this, which is nerds.
Yeah, exactly. So,
wow.
But Roman actually reached out. He tried to do, because we were doing topics back then and headlines. So you were like, it was around May the 4th or on May the 4th, and he was like, hey, let's try it. Let's talk about it, because that's what's going on. So
confusing. Yeah. We have no idea why. If you look at all our numbers, all the downloads, everything, you go back to that one May 4th episode, it's just like,
our audience
still the numbers are just like, nope. Wow.
Just they're like, nope.
So there was no drops for that, huh?
Yeah, no, it was just one of those things. And again, the irony is, like I said, in the podcasting and in the Star Wars, like, I go to the big celebrations. I've been to San Diego Comic-Con. I've again, like I said, I was at the world premiere in Toronto for the latest Star Wars movie. I'm in the Astromech Build Club. There's a lot of charity stuff. And again, if you want to know something about Star Wars, I think I'd be a pretty good guy to ask.
Right.
But hey, that's something I do. It's not.
But apparently on our podcast, nobody asked.
Nobody asked.
Wow.
The question that nobody asked. But anyway, R2's here with us today. So if you happen to hear him in the background screaming or beeping and booping and stuff like that, that's what's happening. So for those not watching, you'll hear him. So anyway, happy Star Wars Day after all that. So real quick, J-Man, I think we discussed this prior to recording because you're a football fan.
Of course.
I'm a football fan. This morning, we just found out the world lost Don Shula. He was 90 years old. He was, of course, my longtime Miami Dolphins coach. He coached the Baltimore Colts in the 60s, won 2 Super Bowls in the early 70s, one of them of which was the only perfect season.
Right.
And yeah, legendary coach, Hall of Famer in 1997. So I know there's a lot of Miami fans and even just football fans in general. It's a legend. Yeah, of course he wasn't coaching anymore, but a legend passed today. So it was we'd be remiss if we didn't mention it.
Yeah, they were already quoting him and everything he's done in his career while he was still alive. Like you would quote somebody who's no longer around.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like when you're a living legend and people still refer to you as everything you've done, and this like the legendary Don Shula, blah blah blah. Dude, sitting over there, man. Like he's still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how great he was.
He's the meaning of living legend.
Yeah.
I mean, the same thing like when Coach Green was around, the Bears who we thought they were, all that kind of stuff. People do that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, we lost Don Shula, but you are, J-Man, you're a Phillies diehard fan. Like you love the big four, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're so Flyers, 76ers,
Eagles.
But you're in Delaware, aren't you?
Yeah, Delaware's like right next to Philly, man. I mean, if anything, you just go right up the road, you're there.
Yeah, of course, it's like that. It's like you the nearest team you gravitate to. I mean, so I was gonna give you a hard time for being everything Philly, but
I know you was gonna.
You're not actually from Philly. So I can't give you a hard time about those people booing Santa Claus.
Well, I'm there most of the time, so you go ahead and take a shot.
He goes, actually, I go to boo Santa Claus. Whenever I'm in Philly, I go to Costco and I boo Santa Claus.
Bro, we almost tore the city apart when the Super Bowl time came around. Come on, let's just be real.
Oh, yeah.
They had to put Crisco on the gates just to keep people from climbing. It was wild.
We use Crisco for something completely different up here.
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's in, just it's. We were not going to discuss that right now.
It's.
It's one of those.
So okay.
Welcome to D Block.
So anyways. Phillies fan. We talked earlier, as our listeners know, I'm a hardcore New York Giants fan. Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants share a division, rivals. Again, I don't have much of a problem with them, but then again, we win Super Bowls on quite frequently.
Every so often, I guess. But you had McAdoo as a coach, so I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I know. We're in a rebuild. I know that's going on. So
everybody's in a rebuild, man. Everybody's teams are just everything kind of exploded in the off season.
Yep.
Gronk is coming back.
Gronk is coming back. Yeah. So
yeah, he's going to Tampa, isn't he?
Yeah, that's where Brady is.
Oh yeah.
So that's the only reason he's going to Tampa. He's like, well, if I, I'll put in another year. I think I could do it. He'll go hang out with Tom Brady. Of course he will.
In Florida, why not?
Yeah, why not?
And the team that I followed for a very long time, San Diego Chargers, which are now the LA Chargers.
What?
Phillip Rivers is no longer there. He's in Baltimore. No, he's in
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
He's cold.
Yeah. And so it's like everybody's just kind of shift around. So if the season picks up this year, we'll see what it looks like.
Eventually, when it does, yeah. It's one of those things. Actually, Jamin, we had a thing when the Chargers moved from San Diego to LA. Roman was getting a little tired of their losing ways, and he's like, "This is the opportunity. I'm announcing. I'm getting off that Charger train." So we had like a
because you can't. Rob has he doesn't let you jump teams.
I don't let bandwagoners. I am a you can't bandwagon.
But I told
that's something we can agree on.
Exactly. The San Diego Chargers don't exist anymore.
Right. So
they moved to LA. They're a different team. So I said, well, since I don't have my team anymore, right? I said maybe I will ask the audience to pick a team for me. We did a bracket style.
We did March Madness style bracket. We asked the internet to pick his new team. So we had like 4 teams every week in a Twitter poll, and we narrowed them all down. So every
week was almost the Cleveland Browns.
I was.
That would have been funny as hell.
I was campaigning like crazy. I'm like,
that was a Bodie McBoatface. That's what that was going to be.
Oh man.
But anyway, the internet finally chose Miami Dolphins, so he stuck with them for a couple of years, and he's like, I can't do this. I got to go back. So he is. Yes, he's with his original team. He was disappointed, and I pointed out the irony is, he's like, they moved from San Diego to LA, so they're leaving, so I'm leaving them. I'm like, yeah, but Roman, they're moving closer to you.
Yeah, really. I mean, like
40 minutes.
You're not just digging a hole at this point. You jumped into the crater, man. You went right into Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
they haven't been good for a while.
I know, and I was just like, well, maybe this is good. They kept saying, maybe they're gonna have a good year. No, it was just, it was so bad.
The thing is,
God, it was so bad.
When we talked about it, we were joking about it. I'm like, let's leave it up to the listeners, because we thought, well, that's something new to talk about every week. So we had this whole thing, and I pushed for the, and because I'm secretly, I don't want them to leave the Chargers, and all of a sudden I'm a Patriots fan right in the middle of their dynasty. It's like, no, bullshit.
Oh, we can't. That can't be claimed at all.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
No. I would have called bullshit all day.
But even if they would have said, even if I'd been like, Cleveland Browns, now I'd say, sure, why not?
Yeah, if you started today. Hey, cool. Like you can't.
Yeah. Off season. That's fine. But
let me run this past you. I know Roman is completely against this. This is just my stupidity. J-Man, you can use this. Because I have a stepbrother that if you're buying him, like, say, a baseball cap for his favorite hockey team for Christmas, you have to buy it Christmas Eve, and you have to check who's at top of the standings, because he is a fan of the latest winner. So yeah, he's one of those bandwagoners. He's like, if whoever's on top, that's who he's cheering for.
Just say no, man. That's awful. So what the hell?
This is my rule. Let's say you're an Eagles fan, and let's say if they didn't win the Super Bowl, and you're like, guys, I'm fed up with the Eagles. I'm leaving the Eagles. This is my rule.
Which will never happen, but go on.
No. But like, if I was to leave the Giants, I'd have to announce on social media or maybe even on the show, I'm leaving the Giants as a fan. And then I go one full calendar year with no team. So that way I can't jump on the next. That's why it's like, that's why if I left the Giants, I'm not ever. But let's say if and that you're not going to see me in September wearing a Tampa Bay jersey. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's bullshit, buddy. You can't.
Yeah, I know something wrong then.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So my thing is, renounce your team, wait one full calendar year, and then you can announce your new team. So that way it takes away the bandwagon issue. It takes away.
Yeah, the reason Rob says I'm against it is because I'm not wasting an entire year of my life because Rob has a problem.
Oh, you can still watch football.
You can still watch football. You just don't be on the
but
team.
I mean, if I want to cheer for a team, whenever I decide, okay, you know what, I'm tired of this team, I'm switching teams. Now, every year, no.
Yeah.
But if you decide, okay, look, I'm moving over to this team now, Rob doesn't get to dictate to me that I got to wait.
But the thing is, let's say if you switch teams. And like all of a sudden,
I've switched plenty of teams, man. I was a Houston Oilers fan.
I know
you what?
Warren Moon, baby.
You were into girls for a long time too, but
wow, all the trash is out.
They stopped.
What did I come into?
I'm single by choice. I mean, not my choice.
Yeah,
by choice.
Oh, your choice, though. Yeah, your choice.
Not my choice.
Not his choice, but somebody's choice. So, we should have warned you, Jay, man. Whenever Roman and I are very cordial, and we've been friends forever, but whenever we get the third person on the show, we just go after each other. Like
ain't nothing wrong with it, man.
There's no hard feelings. We're just we can both take it.
I should have brought a bag of Doritos, but you know what I'm saying. It's like,
Rob can take it because he's got all that Crisco.
Oh, see all that grease lightning going on.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, the year of no team, that actually sounds really good.
Well, that's like that way.
See, I'm getting texted live by my brother. I got it on my watch here.
Yeah.
He's like, single by choice, eh? Thanks, Don.
Thanks. So there we go. J-Man, is that a decent thing to have in place?
It is a decent plan, but knowing him, he wouldn't follow through on that. But it's a decent plan.
But we got somebody chiming in on Podbean Live. Did I just hear R2D2? Yes, you did, sir. Yeah, you did. Yeah, I'm an astromech builder. Somebody is listening to us on the audio side, so we can't see. He's over my shoulder on the live stream. If you go to at Roman Podcast on Twitter, you'll see him while we're talking.
Let me ask you this, all right?
Okay,
here's a comment. Robert is an astrometric. Is that the word? Astromech ass builder, all right?
Oh shit.
He builds himself his little toys on that. But when I build myself a girlfriend, I'm a weirdo, all right?
Hey, yeah, you built a robotic woman?
No, he's just like...
Well, we're still trying to figure out where she lands. I mean, we don't want to peg her down on a spectrum anywhere.
You didn't build her; you inflated her. There's a difference.
Oh, so she's balloon
build
girl.
is a build. You know, if you inflate an inflatable castle.
That's technically a castle, I guess. I guess.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get over that. So here we go. Sports, obviously, we're dudes. We love our sports, and again, if as long as you're, and now they're not on, so we really miss them. You have you noticed that hole in your life, J-Man?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like even when
we're down to like just reminiscing of things of the past. You know what I mean?
Yes. Your cards, yes. So anyway, so go ahead, J-Man. What were you?
Man, I mean, as soon as I found out that we lost, well, we didn't get that basketball season, and then baseball season is still non-existent, and then the Olympics got canceled. I was like, no, cancel it. This year's done. I know.
Yeah. We got somebody chiming in here. Doss is chiming in on Podbean Live. UFC is holding an event on Saturday, apparently.
Wait, they are?
Without an audience, yeah.
Well, I don't really focus on the crowd. I just focus on the people getting bloodied up. It's a little different than pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? At least pro wrestling, you're focused on the crowd. As long as you're
quarantined for 2 weeks while you're doing your working out, and nobody that comes in, whoever's your trainers, whoever's with you is also quarantined for that time, and that you know that there's no chance of communicating anything, then you're fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can fight each other. And
I watch it now, and I never go, like, if I'm out and it's on, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch it. Yeah, it's exciting, and I can get on the hype train. But when it first came out, every time I saw the highlights, I'm like, I see all the knockouts and all the submissions. I'm like, this thing's effing awesome, man! I can't believe it. And then I'd watch and it'd be like, okay, there's two dudes rolling around. When's something gonna happen? Because I don't understand jiu-jitsu, right? So I don't know the finer points of it. So I was like, what am I watching? And this is not.
It takes a while to get to that point. Well, it takes a while to get to that point because, I mean, as soon as you look away, though, stuff's going to happen. So it's like one of them things you got to stay focused on. Especially
grapplers. Some people that are pure grapplers, they're not always fun to watch. They're effective, and they can wear down a person, but really all they'll do is they'll clamp down on you, pull you down on top of you, and wear you out. But as a viewer, you're like, how come nobody's punching each other, man? But, like a Gracie-style person will just, they're very effective.
They'll wreck you.
But it's not always the best TV.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I got Doss chiming in. Is this like a silent partner show? No, it's not. North-south positions look awkward. No, I'm not sure. If you chime back in there, I can understand what you're getting at. So, okay, so here we are. J-Man, you're an essential worker, right?
Yeah, I'm expendable. I mean,
no, but so you are getting out there. You don't have to get into it, but you are getting out there doing your thing.
Yeah, I'm out there, not by choice, but yeah, I'm out there.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of thinking it would be anybody that's an essential worker is like, yes, they're glad to be working and they're glad to be having their paycheck, but I can see a little envy in some of them going, man, I'd like to sit at home for a week just to know what that's like.
It happens. Like sometimes, like when you're out there all the time and you got people walking around and their mouth breathing and all that other stuff, like they're really not doing social distancing. No. They're all up close and crap trying to give you the virus. So I'm like, no. Get the hell away from me.
Yeah. Our Prime Minister coined a term for that, talking moistly.
Yeah. And then comes you're right. And the thing is, it's like you don't get no hazard pay at all with this. believe it or not. Where I'm working at, no hazard pay.
Right.
It's like ridiculous.
Right.
So that's why I'm always fighting management all the time, because they're always coming up with stuff like, oh, you got to work faster, you got to work harder. It's like, no, I don't. I could just take a leave right now. I won't get paid, but I got to take, you know what I mean? It's one of them kind of things.
They can't fire you.
Right.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. I'm an essential worker because I work for a large internet company. And so we keep, so everybody can keep zooming each other.
So we can do this.
So we can do this type of stuff.
So Roman and Rob can make dick and fart jokes.
There you go.
The essentials.
And I work from home.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
So we all work remotely. So it's pretty good. It's a good setup, and I'm happy for it, which means I can keep doing my job and still get paid.
I mean, there's good things about still working. Like I said, I don't have a problem with working. It's just the powers that be behind you and crap. Yeah. And in addition to them customers trying to mess things up. And it's like, stop it. You know what I mean? Get some help.
Yeah, exactly. But, we do appreciate it. Like, wherever you are. And for all the essential workers, we do appreciate it. Because obviously, I think somebody was saying, a lot of people poo-poo funding the arts. Right. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like that should be bottom of the barrel. But like now in the biggest crisis, financially and otherwise and health wise, since my 46 years on this planet, everybody's turning to the artists. They're turning to their Netflix show. They're turning to their music. They're turning to their
video games.
Their video games. They're reading.
Yeah, those are all the stuff the stuff we put in where when we do it.
Yeah.
People look at you and go, well, you should have got a real job.
Yeah, right.
And again, not so many turning to the Roman podcast, but we are here for you. So, podcasters.
If you need to know what to do with Crisco, this is the channel.
This is where you want to be.
If you ever want to get all lathered up, just right.
just right. There's a wrong way to get lathered up, Jamie. I'm not sure.
I'm sure there is, but at the end of the day, I'm not trying to.
You don't want to go too light because you're a dirty bastard, and you don't want to go too heavy because that's like a Silkwood shower. You want to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, get that even coat.
Somewhere between you dirty bastard and you contaminated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Smooth.
Exactly. And you don't want like glossy and dry parts.
Go with the grain.
And go with the grain, yes. Oh my. All right. So you know what we're gonna do? You want to jump into some unsolicited advice?
Sure.
Should we give somebody some advice today? So I'm gonna read this out and then we can comment after. So
sure.
Let me get this going. If my face is lighting up, I apologize. It's my iPad. So here we go. My boyfriend of almost a year is just about divorced. He's waiting for the judge to finalize the decree. As we have become closer and he has opened up about his past relationship with his wife, they were together 8 years. He describes her as an alcoholic who turns nasty, violent person when she's drunk, and always wants to be with her friends, she's acting like a teenager. She suddenly lost interest in the marriage and started doing her own thing and even thought that she might have been seeing someone. He finally had enough and moved out. The way he talks about it, I can tell that he really loved her and was very heartbroken. Now, anything he says is negative. When I asked him if he still had feelings for her, he said, it's like having a loved one die. It gets easier as time goes by. Will he ever be able to let her go? If we continue with our relationship, I want to be the one that he wants to be with and loves. And if she were to ever change and get her act together, that she wouldn't even be a thought to him. Is this possible? Will he ever get over his ex? Signed, his ex-wife haunts me. So basically, let me just sum that up. This guy got divorced. He clearly was in love. She had addiction issues. And so he had to leave, because she was getting violent and everything else. And now he's with somebody else. But the person he's with who's asking the advice is saying, hey, if she turns over a new leaf, he might go back. What do you say to this person?
This is a fairly straightforward one. It's something that a lot of people don't know. Is that, when women get heartbroken, they get upset, they cry, they call their girlfriends, they eat ice cream, they have wine, they go out, they get a haircut, they start to work out, they feel better, they get over it.
Right.
what they don't tell you, and what studies are showing, is that when men are heartbroken, we stay heartbroken for a very long time. It is very hard for us to get over when we commit ourselves and when we fall in love. So yeah, she's right. Everything she's saying is true, and he will eventually get over her. But I mean, I had lost a friendship with somebody 5 years ago. I still feel it to this day,
right?
As if it happened yesterday. Once we open up, it really hurts us. But we're supposed to be the tough guys, and we don't say anything.
Just to touch on that, guys are notorious for the hump and dump. You mean in?
Yes, that's when the switch is off.
That's when it's off. And that's when the switch is off. When we're with somebody, and then it gets past that. If a girl's up there gets past that point with a guy where it's just, then yeah, you got him.
Like, especially being betrayed. It's not like he did something. She did it. Right. She was the one who got drunk, abusive, and all that, and he was forced to stop what he thought was what he wanted.
Well, yeah, right? Sometimes this stuff's on levels.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Roman.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Jake.
I was like, sometimes this stuff is on levels. I mean, yeah, the hump and dump thing. Okay, I've done it. But you see, the thing is, that was in high school. But you see, later on, when I started getting real serious about stuff, and then you start going back and forth on that level, where she starts to change her mind about certain things and all, and abusive, you don't want to go back to that stuff, but it hurts, and you feel the pain all the time. You carry it with you.
Right. So
and they don't talk about it as often with us.
No, of course not. So J-Man, like, we're dealing with a lot. Like, again, this is one of the more serious advice things we had. But so what's your advice to her? Like, obviously he's with
her now, right?
Yeah,
so I mean, she's just got to do her own thing, man. Not let the haunt get to her. And not only that, as soon as she just clean up real well, trim up, all that stuff, give him something that, he's not going to get on the other side. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
All she's got to do is run her show the way she does, like J-Man does. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, now we
smooth
know.
Motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
You heard it here first. J-Man trims up.
Yeah. Hey, you got to sometimes, man.
You got to. Yes. Some of us get lost in the forest, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, But sometimes you got to just go ahead and show them just how sexy you can be.
That's right. So you're saying, J-Man, your advice is just keep it up the relationship. He's obviously he's waiting for this divorce to happen now. Because
divorce costs money,
Yeah, so, and one thing, they're waiting for the judge to finalize the divorce, waiting for the full year to be over. So, you know what? When that happens, he's going to have an emotional day.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean? Because that will be going to the graveyard, putting the rose on the stone. You know what I mean? That's when it's over. So you're going to have to give him a little bit of
support.
Time. Yeah,
give him time, but also he's gonna
be playing video games or hanging out in the garage or doing something, whatever he's into. He's gonna be doing that.
It's not that, and he currently loves the person he's with. He likes his new girlfriend, right?
Exactly.
Right, but he's gonna, that whole deep love that he has with her, that she feels that is maybe not there, because if it was there, then he wouldn't even be looking at her. Right. That will click over as long as she's there for him during these hard times. He's going to come to it. He's got to come to it himself. You can't push it on him, but he'll realize in a month or even a couple of weeks, just like realize, damn, I'm with a good woman.
Yeah.
This is, and it's just, that will click over. She's just a little self-conscious. She's a little intimidated because she's worried that, he'll go back and I'll lose what I have. It's like, trust me, he'll be hurting, but he's with you. Just support him, and you'll see that he will eventually start talking about her in the worst possible ways. Eventually, he'll stop talking about her, and that's what you want.
And he won't even think
about it. The opposite of love is not hate; it's apathy.
There it is.
He stops talking about her. He doesn't give a shit about her. I don't even talk about it anymore. I don't give a fuck. You're good. That's all you want to do is support him until you get there. You'll be fine. Just don't start pushing him.
Yeah.
To kind of do some sort of commitment to prove he loves you. He will run away.
Yeah, he just signed his divorce papers. He clearly loves you. So.
Lose the deal every time doing that kind of stuff, man. That clinginess is not good.
Exactly. So
because Rob and I both know somebody, I think from back home, who pined over a woman, I think it's like 10 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like 12 years. It was we kept looking at him going, dude, enough.
It was hard, yeah. But
and so some people love really hard, but he had nobody to support him and take over that spot, and you know, I mean, he stayed single the whole time.
That's it.
So unlike me, who built Medusa in my bedroom, I call her that because she's got like 6 heads, but
holy
that's for tactical reasons only.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you know what, gentlemen? We're gonna cut it off right there. I'm gonna get into the housekeeping, but before I do that, J-Man, before we get into our little business, how about you tell people where they can find your business?
Well, y'all can find my business at 1-900. I mean, I'm just kidding. Y'all can find my business at J360Productions.wordpress.com, or you can go on Spreaker.com/J360Radio or J360Radio.podbean.com just to see what I'm up to and the rest of the J360 team.
Excellent. All right. So if you want to find our show we are at Roman Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. You can find myself. I'm at Robert MMCast on Twitter and Instagram. You can see me if you do use the hashtag RobsR2. You can see my R2D2 shots because it is Star Wars Day. So I can sneak that in there. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. If you want to find Roman LeBeau, he is at the Roman LeBeau on Twitter and Instagram, and he is Roman Citizens on everything else, including Snapchat, inflatable loved ones, Christian Grinder.
Yeah. There's the assbuildclub.com.
Assbuildclub.com. So check that out for all your social media needs. RomanPodcast.com or .ca will take you right to our TeePublic store. Any Roman Podcast merch, our vintage logo, our current logo. We even have our COVID-19 logo with us wearing masks. Our Christmas logo for Christmas time, for Christmas gifts. You can get our logos on anything. Pillows, laptop cases, cell phone cases, T-shirts, hoodies. All your merch needs, go to RomanPodcast.com for that. What else do we got going on? Oh, yeah, the networks we're on. The Points of Interest Podcast Network, the EMC Podcast Network, the Tangibound Network, and we're also sponsored by Emotionally 14. So Google all 4 of those places. You will not be disappointed. And if you're stuck, if you're bored with this quarantine stuff, just Google them. You will not be disappointed. You'll have hours and hours and hours of entertainment. What else is next? Oh, yes, our Tasty Nude campaign. Do you have any tasty nudes you want to send Roman? Take a shot, send it to Roman. RomanPodcast@gmail.com. Now, I'm a happily married man, so I can peruse a tasteful nude if it's artful. You know what I mean? So if you have any tasteful nudes, I'll happily look at those. I don't need tasty ones, but so send them. Same address, RomanPodcast@gmail.com. And J-Man, we'll let you know if they market care of J-Man, we'll send them along to you. And it just, so just to spread the tasty love.
Okay, yeah.
And last but not least, of course, our review reach around. If you would like to give Roman, Rob, or today, J-Man, a review reach around, go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a star rating and review, and we call that the review reach around.
That's right. That's a 5-star. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Get in there, you furry oaf. I don't care what you smell. Reach around.
Awesome. So until next week, I'm Rob Cast.
I'm your host, Roman LeBeau.
And J-Man, thanks for coming.
No problem.
Excellent. So till next week, we'll see you then. Bye.